Welcome FC followers to this interesting discussion. I say interesting because there's a lot of discussions that have been going through and people think the law is unfair. Some obviously would want to implement the law because it would be to their advantage. The topic that we're going to discuss today is about spousal maintenance after divorce. Okay, during the course of the marriage, well, people are happy to maintain each other. But now when they are divorced, the issue of whether or not the parties should maintain each other or one party must be maintaining the other. It's a very interesting discussion, I know, especially those who are able to be maintaining feel very much uncomfortable, and those who are being maintained are happy to be receiving funds in those circumstances. But maybe before I expound the law, I may need to give a rationale, the reason why such spousal maintenance is always an issue at the divorce. The understanding and the provision of the law is very clear. Section 7 of the Matrimonial Causes Act in Zimbabwe provides that when granting a divorce, judicial separation, or nullity of a marriage, a court may make an order regarding the division, apportionment, and distribution of assets. I have some clips which talks about that. But then part B of that subsection indicates that you must also, or the court may also give an order for payment of maintenance, whether by way of lump sum or way of periodical payments in favor of one or other of the spouses. Then it also talks about the children. That one is not a critical issue for now in terms of this discussion. So the court is empowered in terms of this act to give an order for maintenance to the other spouse. So the reasoning is that you want to maintain the life that the person was living prior to the divorce. So in that case now, one spouse needs to maintain the other, and it doesn't matter whether it's the, I would say, ex-husband or ex-wife, as long as the other party can prove that this one is capacity to maintain me, and for me not to be abruptly distracted in terms of the way I was living. This other spouse's capacity, he must be able to pay me for my maintenance. And the other rationale is that in Zimbabwe we don't have a fault system. A fault system is that when you look at a divorce proceeding, the court does not take into account who has caused that divorce. In other jurisdictions, they look at what have happened, who have caused this to happen, so this one is the fault part. We are in a jurisdiction where there is no fault system. So I think from that perspective, there's no reason to then say, so you're not supposed to maintain someone because you are fault. So I believe the reason why we have that's the rationale. It's not really indicated in the act, but I think it is also to say we are not punishing anyone. Why can't people just live the way they were living before the divorce? So that's the provision of the law, that you can maintain a spouse or you can maintain your ex-spouse, so to speak. But it's not a walk in the park. I've seen some cases where people think that because we are divorcing, you're supposed to be maintaining me. The court has gone further and they've interpreted that if you are dealing with an able-bodied person who also have the capacity to go out and work and to be able to maintain himself, such cases, a spousal maintenance is refused. So if you feel you are maintaining someone who is able-bodied, maybe with proper qualifications, or generally with the capacity, because sometimes people think that if you've got a certificate or a degree, then it means you are able-bodied. No, if you still have the capacity, and if it can be demonstrated that you can even work in the informal sector and still be able to maintain yourself, you can be able to be maintained. But obviously you can be able to, or you maintain yourself and you may be denied that is spousal maintenance. But obviously this does not continue when you are now remarried. The obligation is now on your new husband or new wife, so it obviously ends at that level. But critically at this point, it is true, spousal maintenance is a real, but it can also be defeated if you can prove that the person is able-bodied and is able to take care of himself. So I would want you to then go home and you sit and you start to relax, not doing anything because you think you are able to be maintained. If the order is in there, it can actually be varied as well, as long as the other party can prove that this person can now maintain him or herself. So I know it's a subject to which we can take the whole day discussing, but I think I've expounded the law, and I've also given some scenarios where such maintenance can be challenged or can be revoked. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope this will assist you in your day-to-day lives as followers. Thank you.